Tonight on News 5 Live, Prime Minister Placencia says a tentative figure of $20 million is needed to repair the rampage of the hurricane in communities in the Belize district. The BNTU is up in arms over what it says is a premature resumption of classes and a new roof and a handsome donation to Sister Cecilia's home for the elderly. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
Great Belize Productions Channel 5, proud winner of 9 Caribbean Media Awards for 2021. Best Investigative Report, Best News Item, Best Coverage of People with Disabilities, Best Financial Literacy Journalism, Best Videographer, Best Television Commercial Spot, and the People's Choice Award, with 2 special mentions for Financial Literacy Journalism.
Everyone, including our elderly, needs to stay connected with their loved ones. With Smart's Golden Citizen broadband program, senior citizens can sign up for 10 megabytes of unlimited internet at a low monthly cost of $25. Citizens over 65 can sign up with a valid ID and receive free installation plus 1 month free on selected broadband plans. Visit a Smart showroom near you for more information on how you can enjoy Smart's Golden Citizen broadband program. Smart, bringing people together.
Make effortless memories with a Christmas loan from St. John's Credit Union Limited. Members can qualify for up to 3 times their monthly salary. Promotion runs from October 15th to December 15th. Call any of our St. John's Credit Union offices in Belize City, Belmopan, or Dangriga to book your appointment to make your dream Christmas a reality. St. John's Credit Union Limited. Safe saving, smart borrowing.
Welcome to Builders Hardware, end of the year mega sale where you can certainly get what you are looking for.
That's right, we're cutting costs and slashing prices across the store.
This sale starts from October 15th until the end of the year.
Enough time for you to plan, shop safely, and save some money.
We're having a huge discount, 20% on paint and 30% and more on selected items, just for you.
Come and visit us in Belmopan. We have quality, variety, quantity, and service with a smile.
Builders Hardware, end of the year mega sale from October 15th to the end of December. We think our customers are awesome.
Builders who build with a passion and skill. Go to Builders Hardware.
You have been a safe driver all your life when an unavoidable accident happens. But this does not mean that your insurance premium must increase. with RF&G's accident forgiveness program. Safe drivers will not lose their no-claims discounts because of those minor, unavoidable accidents. For more information on RF&G's accident forgiveness program, contact us at 223-5734. When it comes to motor insurance, it pays to get it right with RF&G Insurance, a Road Group company.
I am.
We are.
All of us.
Together. 12 decades working to achieve health for all. Individually, collectively, universally.
This is our mission.
We stand together with all people.
In every community, every country, throughout the hemisphere.
Because we are healthier.
Together.
We are the Pan American Health Organization, celebrating 120 years of solidarity in advancing health and well-being, leaving no one behind.
How are we to measure the success of our lives? For many, an ordinary life should have the following: a job, a house, enough money to buy a new car. But what if we threw out the ordinary? What could escaping ordinary at our jobs do? How about for our marriages? What if I told you we could all be escaping ordinary? Join us as we begin our new series.
The Belize Amnesty 2022 registration period will be from the 2nd of August to the 30th of November. Are you ready? While we prepare, let's clear up a few misconceptions about Amnesty 2022. If my application is not approved, will I or my family face deportation? No, Amnesty 2022 is instead an opportunity for you and your family to call Belize home permanently. Is payment required upon submitting my application? No, payment is only required after approval of your application. Will Amnesty 2022 be giving away citizenship? No. If you're eligible for Amnesty, applying means you have an opportunity to gain permanent residency in Belize. To find out if you are eligible and how to apply, we invite you to log on to www.immigration.gov.bz. Belize Amnesty 2022. Let's continue to build Belize together.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Monday, November 7th. I am Sabrina Daly. The Briceño administration has come up with a tentative figure that is needed to assist the rebuilding of storm-ravaged communities in Belize District. In the wake of Hurricane Lisa, aerial and on-the-ground assessments have been conducted to determine the extent of damage. The government of Belize estimates that $10 million will be necessary to aid with hurricane relief. The Ministry of Infrastructure Development and Housing is taking the lead on the physical recovery effort. However, other government agencies, including the Ministry of Human Development, are also critical in ensuring that those affected by the severe weather system are being taken care of as part of a massive humanitarian initiative. Last Thursday, Prime Minister John Briceño, accompanied by Foreign Minister Eamon Courtney and NEMO Coordinator Shelton DeFore, flew over the areas that have been devastated by the hurricane. What they observed allowed them to arrive at a cursory figure. We begin our newscast tonight by looking at what it will take financially to get Belize City and surrounding communities back on their feet.
Minister Courtney was with me in the flyover because Foreign Affairs is in charge of the cooperation within the government. And along with Colonel DeFore, they quickly prepared a short document, I think it's about 2 or 3 pages. And we used that and we took a guess estimate just through there, I think it was 10 million US dollars. But we have the Ministry of Housing that is going house to house, constituency to constituency, trying to look at what, trying to look at the exact the number that we need to come up. And again, the initial numbers that the Ministry of Infrastructure Development and Housing have come up is approximately $20 million, which would include almost literally the rebuilding of the highway, of the Philip Golson Highway from the city up to the Hollow Bridge. You know, that part have sunk. It has almost broken apart. So we have to fix that immediately. And other parts of infrastructure that we have to do, we have to fix the Supreme Court. 3 buildings were damaged. A few schools were damaged. BEC, BHS, you know, they were also badly damaged. Of course, Hummingbird was well done, so there was not a problem there. At least it seems so. I've not been told about anything else. So all of these things, a lot of different things that we're doing all at the same time. So we're coming closer to what exactly we will be needing.
According to PM Briceño, a majority of the structures that were damaged during the passage of Hurricane Lisa were homes that were constructed with plywood. The plan going forward, he says, is to rebuild using concrete and other materials that can withstand the stresses of gale force winds. The idea, he further noted, is to look at the long-term construction of houses across the country.
Most of the houses that were destroyed are these plywood houses or houses that were just quickly put together. A board house, if it's properly built, can withstand the hurricane. Channel 7 is a good example. That was built many years ago. And like that, there's so many of them. I mean, look at the old house that was falling apart by Happy Tales. You know, that one that was falling apart, that's still standing. Make the point that if it's properly built, it can last. If you look at the low-cost housing that the Ministry of Housing has been doing in the city, all of them, no damage to the buildings. So the idea is that we want to be able to build as many houses as we possibly can for as many people as we can within these areas. And then also then for probably middle class families, see if we can get some low-cost funding, interest rates, so that they could also rebuild and rebuild better. We cannot continue giving them plywood houses because then we're not doing anything for them. Because with the next storm, it's going to go away. It's going to be blown away. And also you continue to perpetuate poverty. And when you look at the how the conditions that our people live, I don't think nobody should be living under those conditions in 2022, anywhere in the world, especially here in Belize. So the task ahead of us is huge. But we have to start somewhere. And I think the best opportunity to start is now, to ensure that we can get to be able to assist people more long-term than as opposed to short-term.
Since the all-clear was given on Thursday, Prime Minister Briceño has been busy, working closely with all relevant government agencies to restore a sense of normalcy in Belize City. Monies have been made available through the Constituency Development Fund for area representatives to assist their constituents that have suffered losses as a result of the hurricane. The utilities, according to the head of government, have, for the most part, been brought back online.
Pretty much what we've been doing for the past few days, we've been more on a relief mode, that we are going out there looking at the people in the different areas, in the divisions, and finding out what they need. And whilst we are very appreciative of what NEMO has been doing, along with the BDF and the police, we quickly sent out money through the Constituency Development Fund so that the elected representatives can immediately go in and start to give out assistance. And we have given it to all the representatives. Of course, the divisions that got hurt most got more than others, even within the city itself. So we're working on the relief. We've been issuing a few thousand relief bags to people, trying to get mattresses to them. In some instances, trying to do quick, small repairs so that these people can move back into their homes. As you all know, BL has done an exceptionally good job. They are pretty much past 95% on, and so is water and BTL and SpeedNet. All of these utilities have quickly gone back online, trying to get life back to normal. I mean, it breaks my heart to see what has happened to some of these people. Their small homes being knocked down or washed away. The amount of debris that's around that we have to be cleaning up.
This morning, we caught up with Minister of Public Utilities, Michel Shabat, at an event in Belize City. We used that opportunity to speak with him about the work that the utility companies have been doing to restore water, electricity, and telecommunication to parts of the country that were hard hit by Hurricane Lisa. He began by acknowledging the diligent work being done to ensure that the necessary services are being brought back online promptly.
I want to say that these guys did a spectacular job. I want to commend BWS for having backup water within 24 hours. Most of the areas were backup, except those areas that were dependent on electricity. So they did a phenomenal job on getting water restored. And BL has also done a fabulous job. These guys have been working around the clock. I know in some of the areas in Kaya, for example, within 24 hours they were back up. They tried to get up at least 50% of the city by Friday. And they have been building on that. I believe right now there's about 97% of Belize City back online. These guys have done an incredible job, and I don't know that we can thank them enough. I know that there are some areas in the rural areas of Belize District that are still out, but these guys are working around the clock to get them back on track.
When you look at the kind of effort being made by, one, the present administration to which you belong, and the various companies that fall under your ministry, what do you say when you see this kind of effort being manifested?
Certainly we understand the urgency and the disaster that has hit the city, and it is important for us to try to get back people to live as normally as they can. And I must commend our Prime Minister, who, as the chairman of NEMO, has taken the bull by the horn and has really brought everybody together to try to rebuild the city. There was a massive cleanup of the city where all the municipalities came in and helped, and it's just a testament that when we work together, there's so much that we can accomplish.
Coming up, teachers and the Ministry of Education at odds over school reopening.
Did you know that there's a way to protect yourself from getting the hepatitis B virus?
If left untreated, hepatitis B can cause chronic liver infection and put people at a high risk of death.
Fortunately, a safe and effective vaccine for hepatitis B is available for everyone.
Hepatitis B is not only life-threatening, but highly infectious.
It is spread through contact with blood and other bodily fluids from an infected person.
Common modes of infection include mother-to-child transmission during birth, having sex without a condom, using unsterilized tattoo or piercing equipment, or even sharing razors, washcloths, or toothbrushes.
Remember, a tiny amount of blood, too small to see, is enough to infect you with hepatitis B.
There is no cure for hepatitis B, and symptoms often do not present themselves early, so many people might not know they are infected. The only way to know is to get tested.
So talk to your healthcare provider about getting tested and vaccinated to protect yourself and others from hepatitis B.
Everyone is potentially at risk of being infected, so don't wait to vaccinate.
Visit any healthcare facility countrywide to speak with a healthcare provider about getting tested and vaccinated for hepatitis B.
What is Medriva? Medriva is the easiest and safest way of booking a taxi or delivery service. Here's a guide on how to use our services. Download the app, available in the Google Play Store and the Apple Store. Tap where you're going. Your location will be picked up automatically, and you can change location by entering a business name, street, or PIN location. Select delivery or economy, the number of packages or persons, your payment option, cash, credit card, or e-cash. Tap confirm, and a driver will accept your booking. You'll see the driver's profile picture, name, license plate, and the color of the vehicle. You can also message and call the driver. You will see real-time tracking of your driver approaching you, and you will be notified when he or she has arrived. Rate the driver by your experience. An electronic receipt will be provided. Tap the hamburger menu. Tap points for every ride completed. With Medriva, you can earn cashback deals to use on your next ride. Tap promo code. This is your special code to share with family and friends to earn discounts on your next ride. Medriva, transportation at your fingertips.
Welcome to Design Depot. All in one place. Shop brands you know and trust, like Kohler. Welcome, GE Appliances.
Welcome.
Oran Windows.
Welcome.
Tiles from around the world.
Welcome.
Sherwin-Williams Paint and Coating. Visit us today at mile 3 on the Philip Golson Highway or call us at 223-3768. Design Depot. All in one place.
It started innocently. It looked fun. It looked cool. But then I got hooked. And it had its downsides. I couldn't keep up physically. It started to put a strain on my life and the lives of my loved ones. And I got sick. Really sick. And I realized I was losing. But I knew what I had to do.
The Belize National Teachers Union is up in arms tonight after the Ministry of Education announced on Sunday that classes within the Belize district will resume on November 7th. According to the president of BNTU, Elena Smith, a meeting was held between union members and the Minister of Education last week Thursday, where it was agreed that schools would reopen on the 14th of November. Now, the Ministry of Education has issued a list of schools approved for delayed reopening. Those schools on that list have been given 1 to 7 days to prepare their classrooms for the return of students. The difference of opinions triggered 3 press releases to be issued on Sunday, 2 from the Ministry of Education and 1 from the union. In its release, the union announced a November 14th reopening. In the Ministry of Education's amended release, following BNTU's statement, they issued a strongly worded note reminding readers that, quote, the Ministry of Education, Culture, Science and Technology is the only legal authority that can cancel and suspend classes, unquote. We spoke with President Smith today at the union's headquarters in Belize City about the situation.
We met with the minister on Saturday. We requested a meeting with the minister. We wanted to discuss with him and get some agreements in terms of what our teachers in the Belize district were sharing with us and what were their concerns and their needs. And so we had that meeting. In that meeting, it was agreed that due to the issues that our teachers are facing, our students and even parents, who have to deal with their issues with regards to the hurricane, that it would have been best, and we agreed that the 14th would have been the back to school. But during the week of 7th to the 11th, then our teachers would be reporting to school, preparing classrooms, because some of them had to get things out to prepare for hurricane shelter. So fix back everything up, help where they could help other schools, other teachers, so that everybody could be ready for the 14th. That was the agreement that we had. We also agreed that on this week would not be a holiday, and teachers had to be told that they knew that they could not just stay home or go across the border, do whatever they wanted, but they had to report to school and do the preparations. So we left the meeting with those agreements, and we went and we gave council that report, only to find out that when the memo came out, the memo said on the 7th as normal. But that wasn't the decision that we made in the meeting. We said the 14th due to, as I said before, all of the situations happening on the ground right now. But you have to consider the fact that while the school might be ready, the school didn't suffer damage, are those teachers ready? Are the children ready? So it's not just to look at the school building to see that the building wasn't impacted. Who did the assessment? Because we visited schools and we are being told that they have not seen anybody coming to the school to do any assessment. No, for example, a school like Doublehead, the school in Doublehead, Belize Rural Primary, they were given 3 days. They lost their entire roof. The roof is gone. How can that school be prepared to have children within 3 days? And then we are being told that, they will house them in the community center. And the center is in a similar position to the school, except it has a roof.
And President Smith says her teachers have lost trust in the ministry. She says, based on this weekend's event and previous occurrences, teachers are no longer able to believe that the Ministry of Education will keep its word. Here is how she puts it.
While the ministry has that mandate to do those things, the ministry has partners that it must work with. And in working with us, you have to then give us that respect as partners. So not because you are the one to determine, you will just on your own say, this is what it will be. That's why we are partners, and that's why we are working together to ensure that. And we said to the minister, we want to work together because we want to ensure that learning continues as best as we can. But we have to be considerate, we have to be compassionate at a time like this.
Where does the ministry and the union's relationship stand at this point?
Well, I will tell you, our teachers had been paying attention, and they feel that every time we meet with the ministry and we come to some decision, some agreement, and something goes out, for example, a memo or a release, that those things are never as they were discussed in the meeting. And so our teachers are really and truly right now not happy with the ministry. They don't trust them any at all, and we can't blame them because we sat in a meeting, 3 of us, and we said on the 14th, and hours later, we see a member coming out to say, as was said before, it's going to be on the 7th. How can I sit in a meeting going forward and trust that whatever you are telling me, you are going to be abiding by those things that we agree with or that we agree to?
The impact that Hurricane Lisa has had on Belize City prompted the government to impose a district-wide curfew through the weekend. But because the storm lasted several hours and the power outage thereafter lasted for a couple days in some cases, a lot of those people did not have any means of knowing that a curfew was in effect from 7 in the night. Many were arrested and charged in that regard. And while the arresting officers were merely doing their job, Commissioner Williams said he wished that they had used a bit more discretion in some cases.
The time the curfew was called, many people were out of current. Some had no internet. They have no access to social media. And so the information about the existence of the curfew was not widely received by the public. And so because of that, many persons were caught off guard, not knowing that there was a curfew. And that is where I have an issue. I think that the officers ought to have used more discretion, considering the circumstances, before just arresting people. Yes, I do understand that they're doing their job as well, but there are times that we need to be more sympathetic or empathetic towards the issues of people. And these were not persons who were caught long after the curfew hours. It was just as the curfew began, early in the night. And so I think that in the future we need to do better in terms of using our discretion so as not to criminalize people who are not aware of the existence of a particular law.
While the advice from the authorities prior to the passage of Hurricane Lisa was for everyone to move promptly to their shelter and stay indoors, as essential workers, they had to ensure that people were not using the opportunity to commit crime. Police Commissioner Chester Williams said that officers were patrolling until just before the hurricane hit.
We had to ensure that we put in place patrols to patrol the streets of this country until the very last hour before the storm would hit. And that was exactly what we did. After the storm was over, even before Nemo gave the all clear, the police were out on the streets making sure that we maintain presence to avoid those persons who may have wanted to use the opportunity to go and burglarize places. And so the police were out there immediately after the storm. And to some extent, we also assisted in cleaning or clearing the streets and making sure that the highways and the streets in Belize City were usable. So there was a lot that we did before and after the storm. As you know that during the storm, the police have to take shelter like any ordinary person. We don't want our personnel to be hurt stupidly. And so we took shelter while the storm passed, and immediately thereafter then we were out again, making sure that we do what needed to be done to keep the country safe. We have a few cases of burglaries, but it's not at an alarming rate, I must say. And again, that had a lot to do with the fact that the police maintained our presence on the streets until the very last, and were again the very first to be on the streets after the storm was over. We do have a number of complaints about zinc or roof being missing, and several people lost their roof, and I don't know how you could determine which roof is yours. So again, that seems to be an issue.
Commissioner Williams said that none of the police formations suffered any damage to their buildings or vehicles, but that some police officers suffered personal losses, particularly in Belize City, and the department was looking to help them with some aid.
There's where the bulk of those officers are. And from a welfare standpoint, we are doing what we can to see how we can assist those officers. Yes, we'll not be able to replace every loss that they may have suffered, but I have already directed the chair of our trust fund subcommittee to see if we can approve at least 1,500 grant to those officers to help to replenish some of their losses. And I am sure that they will be able to get other assistance, perhaps through NEMO or through their respective area representative. But from the department standpoint, we are going to do as best as we can to help them to recover. In terms of our infrastructural damage to police buildings, we didn't suffer much per se. We find that I think only some of the precincts, I think in Belize City, Precinct 1 in particular, that had flood issues. Other than that, I think the police station in Gales Point, I think at Zinker, something might have been blown off. But very, very minimal infrastructural damage to our police buildings. In terms of our vehicles, none of our vehicles suffered any damage due to the storm. We ensured that our vehicles were properly secured after we ended our patrols.
After the break, 3 men shot on Wagner's Lane in ongoing gang rivalry. But first, here's the weather report.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's weather report and forecast prepared by the National Meteorological Service. I am meteorologist Shana Young. Mainly fair weather prevailed earlier this morning, but a few showers was observed on radar imagery this morning and this afternoon. Taking a look at the rainfall totals for Hurricane Lisa that affected the country on Wednesday. Majority of the rain fell near the Belize district with 180 millimeters over Belize City and 150 near the airport area. Up in the north was the next highest rainfall amount with 130 millimeters, while over the south was the driest locations during the system. Winds that affected the country was most strongest in the Belize district, particularly over Belize City, with maximum sustained winds of 66 miles per hour near the municipal airport, gusting to 92 miles per hour, while over near port, the maximum sustained winds was 68 miles per hour with higher gusts of 88 miles per hour. Taking a look at tonight's weather forecast, a few light showers will continue to affect Belize City and offshore areas near San Pedro, as well as near Dangriga and Placencia in the south, while mostly partly cloudy skies can be expected inland. Taking a look at tonight's low temperatures, along the coast, low temperatures will be near 76 degrees Fahrenheit, while 70 degrees Fahrenheit can be expected near Orange Walk, Bomapan, and also San Ignacio. Taking a look at tomorrow's weather conditions, a few showers and isolated thunderstorms will continue to affect mostly the northern areas of the country and also along the coast near San Pedro, Belize City, Dangriga, and Placencia, while mostly cloudy conditions can be expected near Bomapan, San Ignacio, and over PG. Taking a look at tomorrow's high temperatures, lower 80s can be expected near Belize City, San Pedro, as well as over the south, while inland, slightly warmer temperatures near 89 degrees Fahrenheit can be expected over Bomapan and San Ignacio. Taking a look at the 4-day forecast, a few showers and isolated thunderstorms will continue to affect mostly northern and offshore areas on Tuesday, Wednesday. However, on Thursday and Friday, mainly fair conditions will return over most areas. Taking a look at the tropics, over our area there is no tropical activity at this moment. However, over the Atlantic, there is subtropical storm Nicole that was moving to the northwest, and this system, as well as a low pressure that was also in the area, poses no threat to Belize at this time. Taking a look at the marine conditions, generally fair weather prevailed earlier this morning, but an increase in moisture was observed mostly over northern and offshore areas. Tonight, winds will be from the north at 5 to 10 knots, with waves of 1 to 3 feet, producing slight seas, and this will continue into tomorrow. Taking a look at the astronomical conditions, there will be a low tide at 4:06 tomorrow morning, followed by a high tide at 10:15 in the morning, and another low at 3:37 tomorrow afternoon. The sun will rise at 5:54 in the morning and will set tomorrow evening at 5:18. The moon will set at 5:59 in the morning and will rise at 5:35 tomorrow evening. This weather report was brought to you by the National Climate Change Office through the UNDP Climate Promise from Pledge to Impact project. Join us again on Wednesday for another weather report and forecast prepared by the National Meteorological Service.
My lights, yeah. Go to my lights, go to my lights. You gotta go to my lights, yeah. I wanna shine, 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 shine. I hit my lights cause that's my plan, 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 plan. My lights have your favorite brand, 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 brand. Just come with nothing in your hands, 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 hands. My lights, and it goes on and on and on. It goes on and on and on, yeah. I wanna celebrate with my lights, sing yeah, yo, baby, let's go. My lights, I wanna celebrate with my lights, sing yeah, yo, baby, let's go. We going to the store, what we gon' do right? We gon' light a life, only with my light. We going to the store, what we gon' do right? We gon' light a life, only with my light.
Say hello to DigiTV. Step into the world of digital entertainment. DigiTV gives you access to 100+ channels on your TV or your mobile device at unbeatable prices. Take your shows with you wherever you go. It's a new level of freedom. Enjoy your favorite entertainment, sports, family, Latin, and local channels. No more fighting for the TV remote. You can access whenever you want from 2 devices at the same time. DigiTV is for everyone. And with the fastest fiber and mobile networks in the country, you are guaranteed to have the best experience ever. There's no installation required. Sign up for the Max package for only $40 monthly and get the first 2 months for just $30. For a limited time, get 50% off a Fire Stick when you sign up. Download the DigiTV app from the Android or Apple stores. Just WhatsApp us at 608-8888 to sign up. It's that easy. Watch, experience, enjoy DigiTV today.
¿Sabías que Hospital Galenia modificó los protocolos de seguridad y prevención de salud ante la pandemia de COVID-19 para evitar contagios?
Creamos un concepto que denominamos quirófano santuario no COVID.
Hospital Galenia, más que un hospital.
Mr. Ronald Gordon, our Chief Met Officer, confirmed that Lisa made landfall at 3:20 p.m. yesterday, 3rd November, 10 miles south of Belize City.
The impact of Hurricane Lisa on Belize City has been devastating. Families, lives have been disrupted. People, livelihoods, business livelihoods obviously has been severely impacted. The goal really is to transform these hurricane weather-beaten streets and neighborhoods into livable, traversable spaces again. Getting back to some measure of normalcy. It's a wide cross-section of partners encompassing both public, private sector, of course being led by the government of Belize, the Ministry of Infrastructure. We have NEMO with us, we have CIMO, we have the Belize City Council, the Orange Walk Town Council, the BDF, the Coast Guard, and a wide scope of other partners. Obviously their efforts here today is being met with great enthusiasm and optimism by the people of Belize City. For us at CITCO, it means more muscle on the ground to achieve the task. We face one of the greatest natural disasters ever brought upon the city in my lifetime, in their lifetime. We face it together. Now it's even more important that we face the recovery process, the rebuilding process. Together, we must exercise patience on all accord.
Three men escaped grave injuries during a shooting incident on Wagner's Lane in Belize City on Saturday morning. According to police, 27-year-old Khalil Hushner, 26-year-old Malik Humes, and 21-year-old Ruben Usher were on Wagner's Lane at around 7 a.m. when a lone gunman attacked them. The three men received gunshot injuries for which they were treated at the Carl Hushner Memorial Hospital. Senior Superintendent of Police Alberto Romero told reporters today that the shooting incident was a result of an ongoing gang feud in the area.
On Saturday, 50th of November 2022, around 7 a.m., police responded to a shooting incident on Wagner's Lane, Belize City. Upon the arrival, information was received that 3 persons had been taken to the KHMH. Police visited the KHMH where they found Khalil Hushner, Malik Humes, and Ruben Usher with gunshot injuries. Information is that they were on Wagner's Lane when a person approached them and fired shots towards their direction. All persons have been treated at the KHMH and they have been released. Several persons are in custody for this shooting incident.
Any motive?
It is a rivalry between 2 groups in that area.
And was any of the 3 men in particular a target, or was it all 3?
Yes, they were the targets at Wagner's Lane, yes.
A woman who went missing last Monday and was reported missing 2 days later was found dead over the weekend. 30-year-old Celia Celeste Florian, a self-employed resident of Mariposa Street, Belmopan, reportedly went on a fishing trip last Monday and never returned. Her body was discovered on a dirt road as officer in charge of Eastern Division, Senior Superintendent Alberto Romero explained. He said that there were no incriminating marks on the body, but that the police are still treating the matter as a criminal investigation.
On Saturday, the 5th day of November 2022, upon information received around 12:01 p.m., police visit mile 40 on the Hummingbird Highway, where upon arrival on a feeder road, they discovered the decomposed body of a female. The body was photographed and processed and thereafter taken to the morgue, where it awaits a post-mortem examination. A thorough investigation is being conducted into this find, and we are following some leads at this time. No obvious signs of injuries. It will be a post-mortem will be conducted, which will determine the cause of death, and we are waiting for that.
Why do police suspect that or why have you categorized it as a criminal investigation?
Well, we have information that we receive, and so we are following up on those leads that we have.
Police are also investigating a robbery of a Bowen & Bowen delivery truck in the Valley of Peace community. The incident occurred on Saturday afternoon, and the thieves made off with money and personal items. Senior Superintendent Alberto Romero says the police have no suspects in custody at this point, but that they are investigating the incident.
Saturday, 5th of November 2022, around 2:15 p.m., information was received of a robbery on the Valley of Peace Road. Police responded, where upon arrival, they spoke to Francisco Escobar, who reported that while driving on the road, a male person with a firearm jumped from the side of the road onto the street, and he came to a stop. The male person was accompanied by a second person, and they proceeded to stop them, pointed firearms at them. They were robbed of cash and cell phones. Thereafter, the male persons made good their escape from the area. Police are investigating this robbery.
When we return, a new roof and a handsome donation to Sister Cecilia's home for the elderly.
V-Bucks by Venice, Belize's newest multi-brand rewards program. To access B-Box, download the mobile app or access the website portal at bbox.bz and set up your account. If you already have a Benny's account, chances are you already have B-Box. Don't let them go to waste. To earn B-Box, make a purchase at any Benny's location or at any of these Benny's entities, namely Island Freight Forwarders, Best Manufacturing, Benquip, and B-Mart. Once B-Bucks are earned, reward yourself. Use B-Bucks to buy items or exchange for cash. You can also double, triple, or even quadruple your B-Bucks on promotional days. It is simple. Purchase, earn, redeem. Loyalty is always rewarding with B-Bucks. Brought to you by Benny's, celebrating 75 years of quality and savings.
Everyone, including our elderly, needs to stay connected with their loved ones. With Smart's Golden Citizen broadband program, senior citizens can sign up for 10 megabytes of unlimited internet at a low monthly cost of $25. Citizens over 65 can sign up with a valid ID and receive free installation plus 1 month free on selected broadband plans. Visit a Smart showroom near you for more information on how you can enjoy Smart's Golden Citizen broadband program. Smart, bringing people together.
Social Security, transforming service delivery. My Social Security is your secure online account to manage all your Social Security information. My Social Security launched in March 2021 with registration service to apply online for new or replacement Social Security cards. Upgrades to My Social Security continues with a new look, enhanced customer experience, and its newest feature, Sickness Benefit Online application. With My Social Security, you can create your account, log in, and take control of your Social Security information. This includes applying for a new or replacement Social Security card for yourself, child, or dependent. Make appointments online and submit your complete sickness benefit claim package. Our customer care team is here to provide you, our valued customers, with real-time support. Connect with one of our customer care agents through direct messages on WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, or live chat, or follow our YouTube channel for more information, tutorials, and guides. A complete 360 view of your Social Security information is coming soon, which includes a new employer portal for employers, businesses, and self-employed persons, contributions history and statements, all SSB benefits, medical portal for registered doctors, and fingerprint enrollment all in one place. Social Security at your fingertips. The significant enhancement of service delivery to you is here. My Social Security.
Taking its name from the venerable father of the nation, the George Price Highway stretches 77 miles from Belize City to Benque Viejo. Originally built in the 1930s, this cross-country highway system is the artery that links Belize to Central America at the western border with Guatemala. That connection facilitates overland trade, supporting Belize's economic development. Winding its way across the scenic countryside, the George Price Highway from Roaring Creek to Esperanza has been fully reconstructed to meet international standards, with particular emphasis on road safety. A shorter and hassle-free commute is best enjoyed when everyone obeys the traffic laws. To reduce the number and frequency of road traffic accidents, it means that a seatbelt must be worn at all times, and the speed limit observed when traveling along the highway. It also means that pedestrians must use sidewalks and crosswalks where available. Buses should only board and discharge passengers at a designated bus stop. Road safety is everyone's responsibility. It begins with you.
On Thursday morning, when we visited Sister Cecilia's home for the elderly, following the passage of Hurricane Lisa a few hours earlier, we observed major damage to the roof of the single flat building. Heavy winds had torn all the sheets of zinc off the structure, exposing the elderly residents to the elements before they were moved over to the dining room of the building. At the time, there was an appeal to the public to assist with urgent repairs. Well, a Good Samaritan took on the call and, together with his crew of workmen, replaced the entire roof of the house. This morning, BWS also stepped in with a generous donation to assist the facility with getting back on its feet. News 5's Isani Cayetano reports.
We were in Orange Walk and we were watching the storm. The storm could have hit us, and we felt like the least we could do is give some service to help those that did get hit. So we're thankful, and we thank God for the opportunity to be able to help.
A new roof and ceiling is being built at Sister Cecilia's home for the elderly to replace the upper covering of the building that was damaged during Hurricane Lisa on November 2nd. Jeff Carpenter, a builder from Orange Walk, saw the destruction and decided that he needed to help.
I would like to acknowledge and publicly thank Mr. Carpenter and his team, and also Alton Thompson, one of his workmen, who saw the video that went out and came to help. So, you know, Mr. Carpenter, we couldn't have done this without you. They actually put up the roof in 2 days, believe it or not. Could you imagine that?
As we showed you on Thursday, the extent of damage that the convalescent home sustained was massive. What our viewers saw in the wake of the natural disaster was enough for one company to step in. Earlier today, Belize Water Services Limited and the Minister of Public Utilities, Michelle Chabat, gave a donation of $15,000 towards renovating and repairing Sister Cecilia's.
Immediately, the directors of BWS had gotten in touch via our WhatsApp group and had addressed the concern, saying, listen, we need to do something to help the elderly. We were invited to do a little walkover. We saw that the roof was being worked on, and similarly we saw various needs that needed to be addressed, the ceiling, some cabinets and some other personal items that they was lost. No? So due to that, we sat down, we looked at the list of what was required and decided to come up with a figure to donate to them.
The donation, according to Ivorine Bulwer, will go a long way in getting the facility back to where it was prior to the hurricane. The unfortunate experience, she says, also brings into sharp focus a need to pay more attention to the plight of the elderly.
As you may know, HelpAge Belize is all about looking after older persons. And this disaster, Lisa, came and certainly impacted on the Sister Cecilia home. All right, and it's also an indication that we have got to pay better attention to this vulnerable population. Yes, we have these structures, but we would want the support, continued support from government entities to monitor our structures, not only in Belize City, but across the country. The donation that we have received from the Belize Water Services certainly will go a long way. And we're very thankful to the government of Belize and the utility company to provide the support. It offers us an opportunity also to improve the ambience of the environment in which we serve the older persons.
Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.
The Placencia Village Council and residents of the peninsula teamed up to gather much-needed supplies for Belize City residents affected by Hurricane Lisa. Over the weekend, the Placencia Village Council, along with a group of concerned residents, sent out a call for donation across the village. Well, the community responded, and today several villagers drove to Belize City with 3 vehicles and a trailer loaded with supplies, including food, sanitary items, and clothing. We met up with them at the Inspiration Center, where they handed over those items to the Belize City Council.
Placencia, is a community that has been through disasters like these, and they know what people are going through, in any type of disaster. So as soon as the storm happened, we saw on the news and on social media the devastation in the city. So people started calling the council, and we know as well, it's a time when we need to pull together and just have that type of facility to receive stuff because people want to give. So we came through along with some concerned resident, the council along with some concerned resident on Saturday and Sunday in the center of the village, and people just came out and donated food items, clothing. We didn't have as much time. I'm sure after we see exactly what's on the ground today, we'll go back home and encourage people to continue to give because, like I said, we've been through this type of situation and we know the devastation, and people do have the need for the items mentioned. No?
For me, it's very commendable. When I got the call, the first thing I could have said is how thoughtful, no? And how quickly these guys were able to assemble as a team and reach out to the community was also very impressive. Getting food items, getting clothing in such a short period of time, and really reaching out to us to try to get these to the most vulnerable people and those affected. I have to commend them, the chairman of the Placencia, the volunteers, and of course the residents who donated, because a lot of people from the business community and the residents put together these packages. So we are very, very, very appreciative of that. And I really, really want to thank the guys for coming together and having us in mind, because it's these type of collaborations that you are seeing that really give us hope in these tragic times, right?
Over the weekend, the Ministry of Human Development began distributing relief supplies to residents affected by Hurricane Lisa in Belize District. From the ITVET compound in Belize City, food, tarps, water and medical supplies were sent out across the old capital. On hand to assist the Ministry of Human Development with the heavy lifting were members of the Belize Defense Force and the Belize Coast Guard. Government workers from various ministries were also present to assist. The operation reached thousands of victims with much needed supplies. The World Food Program was also there to lend its support. We spoke with CEO Tania Santos of the Ministry of Human Development and Rachiel Velarde, the Program Policy Officer at the World Food Program.
This morning, what we have here, what you are seeing is the planning and the distribution of the food assistance, the food packs, the hygiene packs that are going out for the Belize City affected victims of Hurricane Lisa. The staff of Human Development is actually the coordinators of the relief efforts here in Belize City and throughout the country. Actually, we're the chair of the Relief and Supplies Management Committee of NEMO, and so we are here getting all the packages together, loading them, and going out in the field to distribute to the victims. Thankfully, we have a lot of volunteers today, a lot of support from the Belize Defense Force, from the Coast Guard, from other ministries in the government of Belize. We have Sustainable Development, we have Belize Tax Service, we have Ministry of Finance, we have Youth Department, we have several. If I miss anybody, I apologize, but thankfully we have a lot of volunteers today. The manpower is what's needed. We are also doing a training of assessors. We were fortunate to have the support of CEO Osmond Martinez and Ms. Trejo from the director of the SIB, who have loaned us some tablets that they were using for the census to do our digital assessments, because we do our needs assessments out there, and we have a system, a COBO system that we call it, that we have it digitized.
The World Food Program has been working in the Caribbean region for quite a while now, but we were present here in Belize since early first quarter of 2022 this year. So what we are working in the Caribbean is mostly on disaster risk management and also social protection. These are the same things that we are working with the Belize government. So beginning this year, we started our deep engagements specifically with the Ministry of Human Development helping them with, we call it shock response and social protection. The idea is that we link together social protection, how we provide assistance to the most vulnerable, but especially those who are most affected by shocks, by natural disasters like Hurricane Lisa.
And while Hurricane Lisa was bearing down on Belize City and surrounding areas, Commissioner Williams was battling health issues in a hospital in Mexico. Today, he told us that while he's not fully recovered, he returned to Belize on Sunday and is back on the job. In fact, he was about to travel out of the country once again to attend a regional conference.
Thank God, I must say that I'm doing much better than I was last week. I was hospitalized in a hospital in Mexico, and I returned to country yesterday, and I'm feeling much better. My prognosis have improved tremendously, and so I'm good to go.
Just ahead, sporting facilities in Belize City shuts down temporarily in the wake of Hurricane Lisa.
¿Sabías que Hospital Galenia modificó los protocolos de seguridad y prevención de salud ante la pandemia de COVID-19 para evitar contagios?
Garantizamos contener a los pacientes que allí estamos manejando y disminuir riesgos de infecciones para el resto del hospital.
Hospital Galenia, más que un hospital.
Messi! Off goal! What a goal from Leo Messi! What an incredible strike from Leo Messi! Neymar and Messi is standing over this. Messi! Off goal! What a goal from Leo
Great entertainment stays with you, and we bring you great entertainment. Next Gen, the ultimate digital experience.
I will be there. Thank you so much.
Why are you so excited?
Let me tell you a secret. I just got off the phone with Santa.
Hi, Santa. For Christmas, I want a pea shooter, a football. iPhone and a makeup for Christmas.
Oh, come on. 1 second.
We just learned that Santa's phone number has just been revealed. The number is 227-7132.
I'm sorry, Dad. I shared Santa's phone number.
Everyone, including our elderly, needs to stay connected with their loved ones. With Smart's Golden Citizen broadband program, senior citizens can sign up for 10 megabytes of unlimited internet at a low monthly cost of $25. Citizens over 65 can sign up with a valid ID and receive free installation plus 1 month free on selected broadband plans. Visit a Smart showroom near you for more information on how you can enjoy Smart's Golden Citizen broadband program. Smart, bringing people together.
Welcome to this week's edition of Sports Monday. I am Paul Lopez. With the passing of Hurricane Lisa came devastation across Belize District. Many residents are still picking up the pieces, and sporting facilities across the city were not spared. Hurricane Lisa came in like a raging bull at a rodeo event, leaving hundreds of thousands of dollars in damages to football, basketball, and softball grounds across the city. Here is what I found out.
Mexico Center in particular get maybe 50% damage of the roof. Marion Jones likewise. MCC, the roof in the building went off. Also Rogers Stadium. So every building when it comes to sports in Belize City got affected.
Sporting facilities across Belize City were battered by the 92 miles per hour gusts that came with Hurricane Lisa. The roof of the newly built Mexico Center was partially torn off and sheets of aluminum were propelled in every direction, folded like paper clips. The interior of the building, venue for volleyball and basketball games, became a swimming pool and is now useless for any sporting activity. We spoke with Ian Carl, the director of the National Sports Council.
We can start with the major one, which is the Mexico Center. That received intensive damage. The roof, the entire roof that is there in the structure went off completely. It has a second layer of roofing and that also got damaged. So we have done that assessment. The inside had some water damage on the court as well and so forth. So we will see how we'll have to deal with that. Here at the Marion Jones Sporting Complex, we got minimal damage, just some of the drop ceilings that went down in the office space and so forth. We still don't have any electricity in this area, so the staff are here, but we are mobilizing to see what we will do by the end of today. We might move to the Civic Center.
Over at Rogers Stadium, roofs were flung out of the park and much of the fence did not make it through safely. The sheds and the bleachers were completely demolished and the dugouts for the softball pitch are no longer adequate to provide shelter to players. Forget paying an entrance fee to games. Gaping holes along the wall of the compound make for easy access to would-be spectators.
When you look at Rogers Stadium, it also got some major damage there. Well, the fence was already damaged there, so what the storm did was just crush it to rubbles. The entire fence went down. A section that was not damaged was not damaged before was the fence by the tennis court. All of that went down as well. The bleachers, all of that got damaged. The roofing of the bleachers and the dugouts, all of that is gone. So and then the fence that separates the football field from the entire parking area as well, that has been destroyed as well.
MCC ground suffered a similar fate, putting a pause to football activities on the compound. It is being estimated that the damages in total amount to almost $500,000. The National Sports Council has already submitted its assessment to the Ministry of Sports and is now waiting for a response. For now, all these facilities are closed. In the meantime, games that are scheduled to be hosted at these venues will be relocated. In terms of the level and quality of these infrastructures, is there anything that can be done during the construction phase to kind of mitigate these damages in the event of these types of weather? We know that we live along the coast and it may become a yearly phenomenon and it may lead to yearly expenses.
Yes, you're right, and I think that it caught most Belizeans off guard. You know, it's been years since we haven't been hit directly by a hurricane of this magnitude. So I think that we will have to revisit the way we build our structures again, ensure that we build it at least to hurricane-proof. When it comes to the Mexico Center, it's a rather new facility, and actually it was still in process of, it is still not finalized yet. Yeah, so we will need to look at how we will rebuild the roofing of this structure to make it more hurricane-proof.
And so, folks, that is the dilemma we find ourselves in where sports and sporting facilities are concerned in the old capital. But that is all we have for you this week. Until next time, thank you, Belize.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available in both text and streaming video at channel5belize.com. You can also connect with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/News5Live. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, please remember to wash your hands, keep your social distance, and stay safe. Good night.